From the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars pop culture and the ultimate adventure, inviting internet trolls onto your show. I'm Ken Nose.
And I'm Jen Lando.
And as you can see, we have this internet troll, the wonderful Molly Dabin from Star Wars Explained. Molly, welcome to the show, and I'll explain what I meant.
Hello. I love a good troll, every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So we put out an episode last week, which we had a lot of fun doing. Jen and I ranked our favorite Star Wars original trilogy outfits. On our list, Boba Fett, number 1, Darth Vader. Molly, you disagree. You don't think Darth Vader is wearing an outfit.
Just because of the word outfit. I kept thinking in my head, I was like, is that an outfit? Does he have options? Or is that pretty much it? Because I don't know if there's no other options, I wouldn't call it an outfit. Maybe he has a bedazzled helmet that he keeps for himself off to the side.
Jen, I want you to weigh in here because I think you'd be the best to rebut this. But I also want to say, Molly, I agree. Unless you can, maybe Vader wears his cape differently. Maybe there's a capeless look we don't know about. But Jen, we've been called out.
You know what? It's totally fair. And you're right. It is technically, I don't know if it's an outfit. It's certainly armor. We can say that, right? It's a look. Does he have, what does he sleep in? Is there an answer to that in canon, in Legends? Does he have night robes?
Yeah, well, he's got those underpants he's just, floating around in his castle.
All right. Okay. But yeah, we could have a whole Star Wars armor episode, I feel, right? Yeah. There's so many great looks to choose from. There, I said it again. Looks.
But see, I was going to say looks. I even talked about this on our Vertical Live this morning where I kind of, every Monday, I go live here on YouTube and get the week, look at the week ahead in ForceCenter. And I was saying I wanted to use the term looks because it's kind of a fashion term. I'm not a fashion plate like you two here, but yeah, it's a term. And I just thought people would be like, oh, you mean looks? Like Han Solo pointing, Kylo Ren pointing, looks, which could be a ranked. The amount of, shade thrown from Leia looks that we could rank in just the original trilogy alone. That could work.
You could spell it LEWK and like the youngins do.
I love it.
Looks.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we'll get to that. But today, we are here to do some ranking. Before we do some ranking, we, of course, always want to let you know that today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download by going to audibletrial.com/ForceCenter. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, and MP3 player. We're recommending, as I have been for the last couple weeks, Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. I just mentioned it again in the first episode of Star Wars Power Rankings, talking about Lumpawaru, being brought back into canon in the Aftermath books and those interludes. So check that out. Get it today on us by going to audibletrial.com/ForceCenter. Again, that's audibletrial.com/ForceCenter. All right, let's get to some ranking here. Episode 161. This is the first time in this new format. Thank you, Molly, for being a little bit of a guinea pig, where we're going to see how this goes with 3 people. So bear with us, please.
This is fun. I like how you explained it as kind of gamifying the ranking system. It's an interesting challenge.
It's a challenge. It's a negotiation, and that's what last week's episode was, a negotiation between Jen and I. She switched my vote live on the air. So we are ranking our favorite Star Wars prequel trilogy outfits. I didn't choose anything that might be armor, but hey, you all could put out there whatever you want. We're going to have 10 choices today, not 5, because there's 3 of us, and also the prequels with Trisha Begar and her wonderful costume designs. I mean, Jen, this is something I know you focused on in other episodes of Jedi Beat and Happy Beeps and stuff, where the designs, the costume designs of the prequels are and have always been part of its legacy.
It's pretty incredible how elaborate these costumes are. And when you're looking at the pictures, which I did for this episode, the textures of the fabric, it's all so thoughtfully done. It's why they're all iconic. And I'm already having a difficult time choosing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Molly, I know you're a fan of the prequels and a lot of things in them and some of the legacies that we celebrate. But how do you think of overall just your thoughts on the costume design for the prequels.
I mean, the costumes in the prequels are iconic. Like Jen said, there's so many iconic looks, which I'm so glad that you bumped this up to 10 and not 5, because I was like, oh my God, how do I pick
Yeah.
just 5?
Wouldn't be fair.
You could do top 5 of just, Padme looks.
Indeed.
But there's so many good looks in this, and there's like cool, like fancy upscale looks, and then there's like more rugged looks that involve more armor and things like that. So yeah, there's like so much to choose from.
There's a lot to choose from, and I only chose a handful to start us off. Now we are of course, going to episodes 1, 2, and 3. We're not counting the Clone Wars series. That could be the era, but that could be a separate show. So from the
that would be unfair if
Yeah.
you did the Clone Wars series, because Dooku in his pajamas would win.
It'd be hands down. Hands down. Hands down. It would be the Joseph Scripshaw pick, too. He appreciates those pajamas, perhaps most of all. All right, so here's some choice. Again, I'm going to list some. If not something you want's not on here, you know what to do. You toss it up. I put, as we did last week with Pick Your Leia, Choose Your Leia, choose your Padme. All right? Molly, you're right. We could do an entire ranked episode of Padme's looks. Choose your Padme. And if she comes up twice in this list, I think that can work. I think putting that out there. Once she's on there, she's not off the board. There's so many looks.
Yeah, you could do Queen Amidala and Padme.
That's right.
Like those could count as 2 different looks.
Absolutely could. I also put pick your handmaiden, because there's so many handmaiden choices. Do you want them when they're in full disguise? Do you want them when they're out fighting? When they're speaking to Boss Nass? There's so many choices. So many wonderful handmaidens. Another reason to celebrate E.K. Johnston's books on Padme and her handmaidens. I put Darth Maul, Count Dooku. You got to touch a little bit of the dark side there. I put Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can break them up however you want, but I just thought them as a duo, Jedi robes, back in 1999, it was kind of groundbreaking to us. Like, oh, no, Obi-Wan we thought he was dressed like farmers. No, that's the Jedi way, and maybe the Jedi dressed like farmers. That conversation started with those two walking into the room. I put Boss Nass, Naboo Royal Guard. All right, I put Boba Fett, but not the armor, Molly. I put Camino homeware. Lama
His
Su.
cozy outfit.
It's cozy. Cozy pants. Lama Su comes to mind. I put Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith, going a little goth. I don't love him as a character. I'm not rooting for him, but Newt Gunray. Newt Gunray. Don't overlook Newt Gunray. I put Dexter Jetster. Not only is it for me and Brian Ward, but it's an outfit. It's a choice, and he is confident in it. Senator Palpatine, especially Phantom Menace Palpatine, little blue, little green, and a lot of hubris. Love that look. Masamita, again, not a character I'm rooting for. Keep his tongue in his mouth, but pretty fantastic look there. Tion Madone, 10th level. Aura Singh, she's there for a second, but it's a classic bounty hunter look. Ayla Secura, I put there almost as a joke. The Raver Jedi, as a lot of us called her in the early 2000s, but popular Jedi. And then the final choice, again, of many, but I did put Baron Papanoida, George Lucas himself, showing up, dressed all fancy. I think it's a pretty good outfit. So that's just some of the choices. There are many more to have. Any questions before we get started, Molly, as the guest? I want to make sure you're comfortable in this intense, aggressive negotiation process.
I don't have questions. I am like quickly Googling some of these because I'm just like reminding myself of some of these outfits, and they are just so good.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I hope they let George Lucas keep that Baron Papanoida outfit.
I,
Do you think he wears it? Just every once in a while he puts it on.
I,
For like a Halloween party. Can you imagine?
I hope.
Oh,
I hope that the opening day of the George Lucas Narrative Museum, or whatever the official title is in LA, that's what he shows up in.
oh my gosh.
Blue face
Oh,
paint and all.
I think we would all. I would certainly faint.
Yeah. Baron Papanoida fanboys and girls here. All right. We are ready to begin. Molly, feel free to Google as you go, but you have our first choice at number 10. What are you nominating?
So there was one person that was not on this list.
Okay.
Is it too late to add one?
Oh, you add all you want.
Okay. So I'm trying to decide. I think this works for the 10th spot because she's not in it much. But I think I'm going to nominate Zam Wessel
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
for my 10th pick. Her outfit, it's like the purple leather with the
Mm-hmm.
like skirt piece. The fact that they have her in Prada boots like
Mm.
gets a vote for me.
Wonderfully portrayed by Leanna Wellsman, of course. Zam Wessel's a great choice. Really set the tone. This is why I like this choice here, even though it's, again, no Attack of the Clones, but it set the tone for this prequel era and what bounty hunters might wear versus what we have been used to, especially the OT kids. We're used to Dengar slobbering all over himself, just rags wrapped around his head. We got, Bosk wearing reused flight gear. This is intricate. This was unique at the time, something, and it was cool. And the Star Wars cool factor, we always talk about it. You know when you see it. Zam Wessel, absolutely cool. I think it stands here at 10, but Jen, what do you think?
Oh, it's such a great pick. I'm so glad that you included that shape-shifting Claudite. It just was so striking. I remember watching the film, the purple. I just love that. And whenever I see cosplayers, I freak out. I'm like, they look straight from the movie. So great choice.
Yeah, and some great cosplayers out there. But so wonderful choice, Molly. The Prada, I had not paid attention to the boots, did not know that there was Prada boots going on. Do you know any more on the insight there? Any boot insight?
So I will give a shout out to my friend Savannah. She runs a blog over on the Dorky Diva. She recreated this entire look. Like,
Yes.
found the exact Prada boots online somewhere, like vintage Prada boots, and recreated this outfit, and it was just so outstanding. So she is the reason why I know about those Prada boots.
Love it. Yeah, I've seen Savannah's work out there. Yeah, the Zam is one of her favorites, if not her favorite overall, right? And yeah, great work. Yeah, I love that. And I love the, it makes me think of in Anaheim where they had that Mando and Book of Boba Fett display, costumes, everything. And Joseph and I had a chance to go there, and we were both noting the people who were like pulling out the pads of paper and like writing notes because we're like, oh, these are probably the cosplayers who are finally, what fabric is that? What kind? It's amazing. Great work as always.
So cool.
All right, Zam Wessel starts us off. That is a great pick, Jen. Number 10. Pressure's on you with number 9.
All right. I'm really going back and forth between, I'm going to put Padme's looks higher on the list. I'm trusting that we're all on the same page here.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, and this is complicated because I do feel like a lot of it is done by the hair and the makeup, not so much the outfit. And that is where I do get a little waffly. I'm going to say Ara Singh.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
No?
Am I going to say Ara Singh?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not here to talk you out of it.
I just remember when I saw the character on screen, she's so striking and so badass, and I was like, this is a character I want to know more about. But I will say the makeup and the hairstyle is doing a lot for the outfit. It's actually just like a unitard, really, the best.
Yeah.
So maybe I take it back.
I'm not here.
Okay, go ahead. We have 10, right?
You have 10.
Maybe I leave it.
This is the 9th choice. How about this? We'll say, or you can add, but we'll say things we like about this choice. I don't dislike this choice at all. I put the character on the list. I think it's a very prequel era look that was discussed because this character was seen for 2 seconds, and then even not pre-internet, but like pre the internet we know it now, where you had to kind of go search for answers. It was already rumored. There was already whispers like, oh, that character's going to be something. It's something more. And it didn't really happen in the Clone Wars. And I remember coming out of Attack of the Clones. Remember when we all went to Rogue One and we walked out of Rogue One and we were like, I loved it. Hey, wait a minute. Where was that footage for the trailer? I walked out of Attack of the Clones and was like, oh, okay, yes, cool stuff. Hey, wait a minute. Where was that bounty hunter that was supposed to be factored heavily into the story? So I think R is an interesting character. And a lot of that is just simply the look. So I'm okay with it at 9. Don't talk us out of it. Molly, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely got cool factor. And so I totally get why they would want to put her in a trailer like that, just purely for the cool factor element. I love the antenna sticking out of her head that you can barely see it, but especially on the action figures, it's really apparent. Love a high pony. Not too many people can pull it off. I'd say Zam Wessel, Ariana Grande, and just a couple other can really pull it off. But I do really like her look.
Okay.
I do too. I like
Okay.
when I put it on the list, Jen, because in just sitting down yesterday, getting the list together, watching my Miami Dolphins on the football screen, getting a little overwhelmed with all the prequel costumes, I was like, at least I know Aura Singh's got to be on there. So
Okay.
I'm happy.
So there she is. Number 9. I'm sticking with my choice.
There she goes. All right. We got Bounty Hunters really starting us off here. Zam Wessel, Aura Singh. My choice for number 8 is, there's a lot of hard choices here. I got to make sure I'm saying what I want to say. I'm going to go. He's one of my favorites. I absolutely adore Boss Nass and his royal robes. I'm putting Boss Nass. Is it a look? Is it an outfit? Is it armor? It might be all of it. It might be all of it. Look, Brian Blessed brought to life this fantastic character that was absolutely over the top. I don't know if I love Boss Nass upon first viewing, and I think some of the scenes don't stand up just in terms of how they look. The technology's just gotten better. I want a remastered Boss Nass scene where he meets Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and the whole life debt scene with Jar Jar. But I've grown to absolutely love Boss Nass over the course of my Star Wars fandom, from the down to just the bellowing voice and the bombad sounds. But that outfit is simple, it's understated, but it is an outfit of comfort and power. And when I think of the prequels, I think of all the wonderful worlds that were created, the time we spent with these characters, and you just got to know who they were from a lot of their looks. It's a brown robe with some, gold accents, but it's an outfit of, like I said, comfort and power. So Boss Nass is my number 8.
I love that pick. His pointy little hat is like so memorable too. I don't know if it's a hat or if it's a helmet. I guess it's a helmet because he's got shoulder pads too.
He does. Like I said, little armor. I do love that he's like, get me my pointy little hat.
Yeah. He needs to be. Maybe he's got some issues with his height, so he wants to be the tallest one. He's got an extra pointy hat.
Yep, he's got probably some lifts in his shoes. We don't really see. I don't think Gungans wears shoes, but he might have something going on there. Thank you for validating that, Jen. Your thoughts on Boss Nass coming here at number 8? Is it too low? Is the point? Should he have been
Too
number
low.
1?
I love that you included him as such a fun character. And I'm looking at this picture of him, and he really looks like. Do you remember that show, Was it Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Remember with a little baby?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks like them a little bit, and he has those like dinosaur like plate shoulder pads. And yeah, he's very regal, and yet the character is so silly and absurd. And I love that juxtaposition.
I loved dinosaurs growing up, so I love that reference.
One of the greatest and most tragic endings in a TV show's history there.
Oh gosh.
But a very poignant one. For those who don't know, look it up and bring a box of tissues to cry at the end of Dinosaurs. All right. Oh, there you go.
Do we know if they made any like practical versions of Boss Nass? Like, was any part of him practical?
I don't think so, which is, again, why you're making a wonderful claim for more prequel era remasters and reshoots and movies. I want a Boss Nass in Andor season 2.
What it makes me think it's even more impressive to see cosplayers do characters like that never even had a practical outfit.
Yeah. There was that one, I think in Anaheim, I recall. I think it took some pictures. It was a Jar Jar and a Boss Nass walking around. Just wonderful, wonderful. And I fanboyed out. I was like, please, I must stop and take a bunch of pictures. It was so good. So you're absolutely right. Again, the cosplay, not that the original trilogy isn't full of a ton of cosplay options, but it just seems there's a special, I don't know, passion for it for the prequel era fans who like to dress up these characters because they're fun to put together. They're ornate, they're different, they're unique. Love it. All right. Zam Wessel, Aura Singh, Boss Nass, Molly, we're up to your number 7.
Trying to think. It's hard to pick out the ones in the middle. Because I feel like I know my bottom picks and I know my top picks. I might, because I want to leave room for all of like Padme's stuff and the handmaidens, and
we're going to the top here with Padme.
Shoot, yeah. Oh boy.
I might go with... I'm trying to pick between two. One is like a pretty big main character, and one is another like side character that doesn't really have much screen time, but the outfit is top tier.
Mm.
I want to go... Okay, I'm going to go with a safer pick here. And maybe this is too low for him, but I feel like we could have some good top tier picks. I'm going to put Palpatine here.
Oh, I like this.
Okay.
A specific look, or just Palpatine, Senator Chancellor Palpatine overall? Where you go?
You love to see him in a puffy sleeve, you know? His blue outfit with the puffy sleeve. He's got a couple of puffy sleeve outfits, I think.
Oh, he loves the puffy sleeves.
Yeah. I think it goes well with his poofy hair. You know, it kind of balances everything out.
Yeah.
But the blue, I think, with the puffy sleeves is a great look for him.
I love I love I'm glad I'm looking at it right now. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing because it's perfect. It speaks to the debut. It speaks to the time period. It's it is a very intricate design. I mean, the different colors and the poofiness. The poofy is the power right there. But you look at like Chancellor Valorum, who's got a similar look, but it's a little more straightforward, a little calmer. So you see, and there's something I like about this man. Goes on to not only just control the galaxy, but he does it in a black robe. And like this is like a different version of like just like a over the top, almost like he was a little bit of a peacock. So you just focus on that versus the evil underneath.
That's a good point. Like, why lose all the cool outfits just because you're obviously evil? Like, come on.
and I think if Joseph were here, he would immediately take us to Exegol. And I feel like Palpatine was so confident in that moment that he finally felt, you know what? I can combine my fashion sense from my senator days with my emperor days now. I think he felt this was endgame, and he could finally become who he was born to be. And that's why we have such a over-the-top, wonderfully over-the-top Palpatine on Exegol. But I think maybe he buried it underneath him.
That was his like ultimate way of peacocking.
Yes. Palpatine peacocking. Jen, your thoughts on puffy sleeves on senators?
There's one shot of him on Reddit where his arms are like this and he's wearing the purple puffy sleeves. They are so large. They look like giant drumsticks sticking out. It's so absurd. Like so uncomfortable. I just love it. That's why he turned evil. He was tired of wearing these puffy sleeves.
Oh yeah, that's the Revenge of the Sith look.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Those are huge sleeves.
They're they absurd.
The sleeves of power. Sleeves of power. Yeah, I'm looking up that right now too. Love it. Yeah.
But he did used to like hide his lightsabers in his sleeves, right? So maybe he's got a bunch of other stuff in there.
Snacks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then but it's then the safe and secure society Palpatine is pretty over the top too. So he still had a fashion sense. It was only a little bit later. He was like, you know what? One simple robe. That's all I need.
Yeah.
But we don't know what's under those Palpatine robes. We don't know. We don't know what that emperor. He could have some, very fancy bloomers. He could be showing off underneath just for himself. This is for me. This is for Sheev.
Just for me.
Just for me. Well, that's a big choice at number 7, Jen. We're up to your choice here at number 6. And we're racing towards the top. So don't hold back.
Yeah, this is really tough. And I'm torn between two. I'm torn between Anakin, but I'm slightly blinded because he was such a hottie in Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, he was.
That I'm like, am I doing it just because I thought he was really cute? Like, that's really, but it's a cool look. And if you go on, I forget which cosplaying forum, like they lay out all the different layers and the tabard, and it's like leather, tunics. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But Padme, and I'm going to put this one on, I think.
Okay.
It is the Revenge of the Sith leggings and tunic look when she's pregnant, with a leather harness. I I love that. When I was pregnant, this is how I dressed the first time around. The second time I totally gave up. But the first time I was like trying to like, you try and like wear your old clothes, you know, like the ones pre-pregnancy. And you're like, well, this is kind of like a dress. I'm going to now turn into a shirt. And so this, I feel like that's kind of what she has going on here. It's practical. She can move around in. I live in leggings to this day. Whenever I see cosplayers wearing this outfit who are actually pregnant, like I love that we don't have to give that up just because you're in a different stage of life. So I'm gonna go for it and put tunic, leggings, Padme at number 6.
I'm calling this expecting Padme. I don't know,
Yeah.
what you'd call it. I don't. The figure might be pregnant Padme. I don't know. I love this choice. I love this choice because it was it's a bit of a wild card. But we always talk, Jen, here on ForceCenter, that motherhood in Star Wars is present, but at times it was underrepresented. And why not? This speaks directly to mothers who also happen to be Star Wars fans and royalty. I love everything about this choice. Molly, what say you?
I totally agree about the leggings. Like, come on, like you're that pregnant, just wear the leggings.
Yes.
And it's more practical. She looks comfortable. I love that there's an element of a classic Star Wars outfit look, which is like the cold shoulder. So she's got like the sleeves coming up halfway and then a sleeveless top. So that's a look that comes up a lot in Star Wars and could have even had something to do with inspiring Rey's look. So this could be a very inspirational look that we continue to see pop up in the sequel trilogy.
I love
so
this.
right.
Here's my headcanon that's totally not true. Is young Rey lost on Jakku? She has to essentially raise herself, and Unkar Plot just kind of throws her like some hollows, like I don't know, take a look. And that's not his voice. That's more Watto. 60 portions for this, and somehow this comes up, and she sees it. That there's a history book on the former senator from Naboo, or and the former queen of Naboo, and somehow this look finds its way to young Rey. She's like, that's the look I want. Total false headcanon, but I believe it.
I could see that. That would be. I like that headcanon. Yeah.
Jen, your choice, great choice. This outfit is very real world. Is the thing that makes it Star Wars the leather harness piece?
Yeah, and like the gold detail, and
Yeah.
like Molly said, the cold shoulder aspect, that is such a great point. That is very much. I mean, and look, like that, it's so difficult to choose between all of her outfits. I have like 6 others. But there was something about this because she was so ornate when we first get introduced to her, that seeing her kind of like more stripped down and vulnerable, I like that. And I want that outfit.
Hey.
I'd wear it today.
Perfect. I love this. This is a great choice. Number 6, pregnant Padme, expecting Padme action figure, whatever you want to call it, which I think you can get the figure, right? It's out there. So there you go. All right, love that. Which means I have the hard choice at number 5. I'm looking at the list I made, and I'm like, oh, if I do that, we don't do that. Oh, so we're coming down to it here. I mean, we got handmaids, we got more Padme. We may have bitten off more than we can chew, but I am. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker.
Okay, good.
I think it is a legacy pick. It is. Not only is this kind of a very popular version of Anakin / Vader, it's Hayden at perhaps his the peak of his powers, Jen, as you've just explained. Though he's aged well. Even when he has the digitized youthful look, he's solid. But it's just I don't know, man. It's what you'd want Anakin to be as a Jedi Knight, and this tragic journey we're on with him is one thing, but just as a kid of the '80s, wondering what Luke's father was like, I kind of could have imagined it something like this. I certainly didn't. It's a very unique design, and it speaks volumes of who he is, who he would become. It speaks volumes of the sense that it's a Jedi robe, because we could put the Jedi robes down here as a choice. But I like this version that he's like, I got it. I see what we all do here as Jedi. I'm going to spruce it up a bit, and I'm going to spruce it up with some harder edges, and therefore it becomes timeless. And it's the Last Jedi outfit he wore before the end. So not counting hologram, Force Ghosts, I should say, Force Ghosts, Anakin at the end of Jedi. So I love it, and it's a great action figure. It's sought after. It's a Jedi Knight on the edge, and I'm putting that at my number 5. Any choices? Any thoughts against that there, or 4? Molly?
I love that pick. I was excited when Jen brought it up because I definitely think it deserves a spot in the top couple of spots.
Mm-hmm.
And like Jen said, it is the fact that he is cute is a little distracting, and I'm sure helps a lot of people pick him for like best look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fact that there's so much leather going on,
A lot of leather,
and like where his robotic hand is, there's a bunch of like leather and clasps right there. It's such a good iconic look for him, and everyone thinks of this look when they think of Anakin standing on Mustafar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh yeah, and then like half of this look gets burned off, which is what a shame.
It's a shame. It's a shame for the outfit and the pretty boy underneath it, right? Yep, absolutely. Yeah. You think of the Mustafar thing, this comes to mind. And would you say leather and clasps? That's
yeah.
I think that's
A lot of leather.
Yeah, that's the name of a Mourner album. Our buddy Matty Gunner, I think that's his next album, Leather and Clasps.
Yeah.
Jen?
This is a great choice. He's cutie patootie, and this just is like this was hated in his prime. I mean, he still is very handsome now. You know, the character in his prime, and it's like a nice juxtaposition, contrast to Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, wearing his kind of more like priestly type outfit. But this is just like rocker Jedi with all the leather and, like you're saying, the clasp and the hardware. And I think he even like has a pouch or something. Like he's
ready to go.
Looking good.
He's ready to go. You know, you got rockers, you got pastors and preachers. You got a lot of things going on here, Jen. This is like an episode of Fleabag or something. And I get it. No, this is a timeless look, and that's why it's my number 5. Which means, though, we are up to number 4. The top 4 is coming, and there's so many choices that we are going to have to leave off the list. Which means, if you're out there watching, hey, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, and leave a comment down below of your choices. You might disagree with us, but it's subjective, which is one of the things we love doing around here. We have our show Subjective Wars, and this is subjective as well. But Molly, number 4, state your opinion that we will treat as fact as the number 4 choice on the best prequel outfits.
Oh boy. Let's see. I'm trying to pick between 2 other ones. Part of me is tempted to put another Anakin look on here because I think Pod Racer Anakin deserves a little love.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But my only thing about that is that the outfit, or that's just the helmet that's iconic?
Yeah,
right?
And the dirt on the face.
Yeah.
All right.
That is such a good Anakin look, but I'm trying to pick between that and one of the handmaiden looks because
I mean
the like orange and yellow handmaiden. I actually did that cosplay as part of a group of handmaidens at Celebration Chicago, I think. And so that one has like a special place in my heart.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Look, here, I'm going to let you make your choice here. I'm going to make a pitch without saying it.
Okay.
I'm saying it. Now think about it. If we don't have a handmaiden choice on here, there might be rioting in the streets.
Oh, and rightfully so, I think.
But if this is the spot, I don't know.
All right. We've got so many good ones already. I think since we just did Anakin, Revenge of the Sith, I'll go handmaiden. I'll go the orange and yellow, like crushed velvet handmaiden.
The flame gown, maybe, is what I'm seeing it possibly called. But I don't know if there's an official title for it. But the flame gown sounds fantastic. I am absolutely in agreement with this one. When I think of the Handmaidens, there's a lot of different outfits that come to mind, but this one is perhaps the one that pops to my mind first. Wonderful cosplay out of it, like you said. And I don't know, just especially when you're first meeting the Handmaidens and Padme and her team, it makes an impression, Jen. It makes an impression.
I love this choice. And Molly, I'd forgotten that it is crushed velvet, the fabric. Oh, what a great detail. What a great choice. I love it. It just speaks to like the regalness of them, the color schemes. And we see a lot of that, the gradient, right? Which I hope we'll get to with Padme's lakeside dress. What is it called? Ombre? Ombre, that's it.
Yeah.
Where you have the different gradient of colors.
Yeah. And for this one too, because I was part of that cosplay group, I will admit I didn't have time to hand make anything that I wore, so I just like bought one off Etsy, I think.
How dare you? You didn't crush your own velvet?
I know. But there were people in that group that made their own from scratch, and the way that they had to do the gradual dye of that velvet fabric is like so difficult. So the fact that they did that for all of the Handmaidens just is a testament to like how dedicated they were to making these costumes look amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the legacies of the Phantom Menace. Even though the Handmaidens, of course, were in all the films, but I think you think Handmaidens, you think Phantom Menace, you think Padme and all her outfits. So yeah, it works for me. And yeah, the cosplay, I'm forever impressed by people that can figure it out. I can't even figure out how to cosplay in a bathrobe correctly if I'm Arthur Dent. So I love it there. Great choice at number 4. Jen, we cement this as the correct choice, right?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Well, that means you're up because it's your number 3 choice here, or our number 3 choice as a collective.
I want to decide as a group because I feel like I have 2 that must be on this list. I feel, and that is Padme's lakeside dress, and then Queen Amidala, the throne room iconic red dress. Okay, those 2 for me are like I have to put these on this list, but I have to trust that you both will have one of those, right? Because it's like
basically what you're hoping is that I don't drop a Dexter Jetster on you late in the game.
Listen, I almost put Dexter at my number 9, but I was like, oh, Ken will have him. But now that we've gotten to here, I'm like, oh shoot, Ken may have him.
I don't know. I'm going to hold back, but we each have one more choice. But all right, I don't know. Molly, are you going to try to convince her here? Where are you going?
Help.
I don't want to give away my top spot, but I've already got one in mind. So
so it's a
okay.
Well played, Molly. Well played.
Okay. All right. So then maybe I should choose a different one? Should I choose a different one?
No, I need you to go with what your heart tells you here.
Because the Summer Meadow one is also beautiful with like the buns, like the net, and like the yellow dress, very like medieval in some sense. I don't know, like romantic. There's just too many to choose from.
Summer Meadow happens so fast. All right.
Okay. I got it. I'm not going to choose the Naboo throne room one because I think that was so like mind-blowing when I saw that, and it was just like so unlike anything I had expected from Star Wars, and yet it fit Star Wars so beautifully. And I'm going to choose a lakeside dress because it is just basically a dress that we're focusing on. But that dress and how people have been able to make it not just like in cosplays, but actually wear kind of like Star Wars bounding of that. Like whenever I see that, I saw a sweat tracksuit at Target in that color scheme. And I was like, Padme. And I should have bought it. It was in the kids section, but I'm like, I'll squeeze in. I'll make it work. But there's just something, and the fact that she wore it backless, which they say on Wikipedia when she was with Anakin. So I just love it. It's just the color scheme. It's just beautiful. Everything about it is just beautiful.
Look, you're not going to get an argument from me. I wouldn't know how to argue against this. It is another one of her timeless looks. I don't even want to say it's underrated. because that's probably wrong from my point of view. Because I think we have our listener Addie, who in our live stream on Monday was suggesting this one. I think it's love, but I just think I'm speaking. I'll just say I'm speaking from a dumb guy point of view in the early 2000s. We were looking at other Padme outfits, and this one didn't come
I'm
up.
sure.
If you're being honest about Revenge of the Sith Anakin, we were looking at other things that didn't stand the test of time. So I like that this is represented: the elegance, the openness, the trust, the idea of it's backless as a design choice, but in some way it's a vulnerability around Anakin as that's growing and all that kind of stuff there too. So I'm on board for this. The Lake Como gown, the lakeside gown. But Molly, we need your expert opinion on this dress.
I love this pick for this spot because I agree. I think this needs to be on there. The draping is like so well done, and yes, having it draped from like a strapless around the neck, kind of like this metal piece, looks really cool. And then the metal pieces kind of match it on the arms. You've got the pastel colors, great for like warm weather locations in Star Wars. I love her headpiece that she's wearing with it. This is definitely an iconic Padme look. And I would argue that this one shows just as much skin as some of her other looks that the boys may have paid more attention to. But
you're not wrong.
This one has.
You're not wrong.
This one has a sense of elegance to it that you can't beat it.
Look, it was look. In my defense, I'm getting nervous here. It was the early 2000s. Okay. Everything, Maxim magazine was on the shelf. We were looking the wrong places, okay? I apologize for an entire generation of young, dumb, straight boys in the early 2000s.
We were all looking.
Yeah.
Appreciating.
Yeah.
Love that there.
Gorgeous.
All right. Absolutely. All right, so that's number 3. Padme's lakeside gown, which means we're up to my choice at number 2. Molly at number 1. I think we might have an idea where Molly's going, but my number 2, I always say this, sometimes the answer is the answer, but are you telling me we going to have a conversation about prequel outfits and looks and not talk about Vengeance himself, Darth Maul? I'm going there. I'm going Maul. You thought I was going Dexter Jetster? Look, it's number 11. Dexter's running the cusp.
Yeah.
But yes, a lot of it has to do with the lightsaber. A lot of it has to do with the scene. A lot of it has to do with just the Sith of it all, the black on red. That's what we like. And a lot of it has to do with his, let's be honest, the design of his face. Of course, the character would be like, that's my face, not the design of my face, but in terms of just how they came about, creating this character, creating the look. But I also think, coming out of the original trilogy, this wasn't the Sith look. There might have been supplemental EU stuff that had popped up in the 90s and everything, but much like the Jedi robes, I think this established a lot of what we consider the Sith look in popular culture. Vader, all black, red blade. It's there. Palpatine, robe. At the time, just a cane, no blade, and lightning. But Maul comes along, and just the way his face looked, just the way the double-sided blade played in pop culture at the time, and just the simplicity of his Sith, the Sith version of what, Luke had been wearing, whether it's in Jedi or earlier on in his career as a Jedi. I just love it. It's timeless. We keep saying timeless and iconic because that's what it is. It set the tone, and I'd be remiss if I didn't have a prequel outfit conversation without Darth Maul. So that's my number 2 choice.
I like this pick a lot because it is different for what we were thinking of the Sith at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly black, but there's a lot of different layers and like pieciness to the bottom half of it that like is great for how much movement that character has. You see a lot of those pieces kind of like flowing around him when he's like jumping and kicking. So it's cool for that. It's got a very martial arts vibe with the like belt in the middle. And he has that iconic like scene where he's standing with the hood and he's got his arms crossed and just like that outline of him is very, very memorable. So I like that a lot. I like that for number 2.
He's the face of fear in a lot of ways, Jen, and it's very intentional because I think Maul has a he has a little bit of egotistical nature. He's Sith. He feels he looks good. He wants you to recognize his power.
Yeah, this was a really striking look to come out of Phantom Menace. I just remember being so shocked by this character. I'm sure that he made a lot of children very scared. And I think what's interesting about the character is that it is really a look, right?
Hmm.
It's the horns, it's the makeup and the pattern of the makeup and just like the red. He just embodies like bad guy, right?
Hmm.
And I love that, and to see how the character evolved. I was going to say grown, has evolved since we first got
He
introduced
is now
to
grown.
him.
Yeah.
It's yeah, pretty cool.
All right. Cool. I feel validated. I feel as though all my research into the mall robe that I did last night. I'm kidding. I just love it. Love it indeed. And there's options. You can wear with the hood up. You can take off all that if you want to fight. It's definitely an outfit there. But it's my
Oh yeah.
number two choice, which means Molly, as our guest, you close with the number one choice. You may have tipped your hand simply to help Jen sleep easier at night, knowing that she didn't leave anything off the table. But where are we going with our number one choice for our favorite prequel trilogy Star Wars outfit?
It's got to be the throne room Amidala look. Yeah, that's the classic red with the big kind of like oval shaped hairpiece and the pointed face piece. I had that plastic headpiece that I think
Mm-hmm.
came in a lot of like Halloween costumes back in the 90s. It smelled really bad, it smelled like chemicals, and it hurt your face because it would like dig in, but I still wore it because it was so iconic.
Right.
And that dress is, yeah, that's got to be one of the most iconic looks from the prequels period.
Absolutely is. I will not condone a course of action that will lead us to war. That's what I think every time I see this. And it was a trailer piece, right? It was like we're about to go into this new era of Star Wars, and this was setting the tone. I keep talking about setting the tone. This Phantom Menace, and I know this is we're hitting outfits from all three of the prequels, but Phantom Menace is the one that I think just really said, here's what we're going to be doing for the next few years. We're creating this new time, creating this new world in a world that you already know. And it was more bold and colorful and vibrant than a lot of the original trilogy, which had the wonderful lived in look. I think Lando would have been like, yeah, Phantom Menace is my favorite costume design movie. But I think that trailer and just what you're talking about, and yes, the makeup's part of it, the headdress is part of it, but we all had this like, what the hell's going on? This is amazing kind of vibe. And the movie, the journey the movie goes on for the next 25 years is another conversation. But going to the trailer and that line and seeing that line and hearing that line and knowing this is perhaps the mother of Leia and Luke meant a lot and set the tone for what was coming. I really, really think it's number one. But Jen, what say ye?
This is a true masterpiece. This costume is so many different textures and fake fur or real fur. I don't know what it was. And then these like globes at the bottom, and then the ornate gold details and the headdress and the hairstyle, which kind of evokes Leia, right? A little bit. It just piqued my curiosity before the movies came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? It's otherworldly, right? It's just beyond my imagination. I don't know how they came up with this design. It's just incredible, and it stands a test of time.
Mm-hmm.
It when I see little kids cosplaying with it, I just am like, oh my gosh, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's so special. It's such a special character.
Absolutely love it. Molly, I'll give you the final thought here. This is timeless. We keep talking about it. I remember having this action figure. So happy to get this 3 3/4 figure. It is what I think of when I think of Amidala when you say that name, even though there's many different looks and Padme and Amidala and a lot of looks. And we've covered a lot of them today, but this is the look. So take us home with what this outfit has meant to you over the years.
Oh man, it's meant that this kind of attention to detail is and will always be so important for storytelling. And even down to the makeup, like you said, that plays into it a lot. It invokes a very like geisha kind of look, but the line down the middle of her lip is actually in Star Wars lore that represents, let's see, it's called the Scar of Remembrance, and it represents the suffering endured by the Naboo people before its great time of peace.
Ooh, wow.
So there's like in-game lore for this, in movie lore for the reason of the makeup, which I love little things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Wonderful.
iconic.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
It is the look of looks, and that means our list is complete. Only a little bit of emotional scarring. Number 10, Zam Wessel. Number 9, Ara Singh. 8, Boss Nass. 7, Senator Palpatine. 6, Padme, expecting. 5, Jedi Knight Anakin. And 4, we got the Handmaiden Flame gown. Number 3, Padme's lakeside gown. 2, Darth Maul and all his vengeance wrapped up in a robe. And number 1, as we just decided, Queen Amidala. The look of looks for the most steadfast character in Star Wars, who we celebrate around here a lot. Molly, we did it. Thank you so much for helping us decide this very tough list.
Thank you for having me. I think we did a solid job with this list.
Okay.
I'm really happy with it.
That's good. And all of them, you're set. They're outfits, right? We're good. We're good.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm good with that. I left off my Anakin pod racer thing because it really is just the helmet.
That's the helmet.
Mm.
It's a good helmet. We can do Star Wars helmet.
Yeah, we'll do Star Wars helmets.
Wonderful stuff. We'll start to get out of here. But Jen, what did we learn today?
We learned that every costume is incredible from the prequels. Everyone is just a piece of art. And I forgot the Geonosis, Padme, when she has the white outfit, not the cut outfit, the one with the cold, where she has like the shawl.
Yeah.
That's such a good look too. There's just
Okay.
too many to choose from, but I'm happy with our list.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Okay.
Good.
I'll accept you cutting the Petrina outfit out and going with the other one. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It was for
It's a great outfit.
Great look.
Not practical.
No.
Wearing all white in a place where there's so much orange sand.
yeah. And I think we should give the Neku props for slicing the outfit perfectly. Just reaching up and going, there. Now it's a better look. What a time it was, 2002. All right, but on that note, thank you so much, Molly, for coming on here. Like I said, we appreciate you. I'm teasing up top of you being a troll. You're absolutely one of the best out there. And we love when we get comments from you or Alex. But tell us where they can, everyone listening probably knows, but for those that are just swigging through, where can you find all your work on Star Wars Explained and any cool things coming up?
Yeah, you can find us on Star Wars Explained